In many programming languages, a collection or set of data is represented as a list, without getting into the nitty-gritties of sets versus list. JavaScript provides arrays as the only data type for collections. Also, languages that support functional style of programming usually provide a construct for creating a list from another list of data in a very natural, crisp, and mathematical way. This construct is called list comprehension. The whole idea being to come up with some output given an initial set of input as an array. We will be talking about three important functions which JavaScript supports: filter, map, and reduce. By the way, the map and reduce functions are not exactly the same as the map-reduce algorithm that you may have heard about. So let's start with the filter function. The filter function works on an array, and basically it takes another function as an argument that provides the filtering criteria. So for example, if we have this initial set of numbers in an array and we want to get only the even numbers, we can make use of the filter function. So the filter function creates a new array with only those elements that pass the filtering criteria implemented by the provided function. Let's get back to our JavaScript console and type in our array, and then invoke the filter function. Now this function itself takes another function. So we can either pass an anonymous function, or let's write another function named isEven, which takes an element or item and tells whether this element is even or not. And now we can pass this isEven function to the filter function like this. And when we hit enter, we get the new list or a new array containing only those elements that met the filter criteria. Alright, that's easy. Of course, we can pass an anonymous function if that makes it easy. In case we want to filter prime numbers, we will write another criteria function, call it isPrime, and do a primality test. And then we can pass that isPrime function as an argument to the filter function. This function that we pass to the filter function is known as the callback function. So let's look at the general structure of the callback function. In general, this is how the callback function looks like. It takes three arguments: the current element, the current index, and the array on which the filter function is invoked. This function must return a Boolean value because we need to use it for filtering the elements. So this function should tell whether this element is fit for filtering or not. The index and the array arguments are provided just in case you want to do something with those in the callback function, although in most cases the current element itself suffice. You must notice that if a JavaScript function takes, say, 3 arguments and we pass only one, the other 2 are passed as undefined. So in the examples that we did, we just used the current element and didn't bother about the remaining 2 arguments. JavaScript starts picking arguments from the first argument, and when all the arguments passed are exhausted, and if there are still more parameters remaining, they are passed as undefined values. To show the complete structure of the callback function, let's pass the index and array as arguments to the isEven function. And we will just log these 3 values on the console. You can see the values of the current element, the current index, and the array itself for each iteration.